What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today, and welcome back to the Aussie Sim Racing Series. This is the F3 League. We are here for the Canadian Grand Prix for round number 7 of this series. You'll be able to see there's the driver standings right there on your screen. If you haven't seen the latest video of the Monaco round, then be sure to go check that out, plus all the other ASR videos. But must say, first off, congratulations to Sato, who's been elevated to the F2 League from this round onwards, so he will be not taking part in this championship as always, so you won't see his name in the championship standings from now on, so congrats to him. But finally, after what I said in Monaco, where there were the stewards' inquiries, the outcomes hadn't been made, we now have some outcomes from both Spain and at Monaco. So let's see if we can get through all of this very quickly while you can see all my qualifying highlights right there. It was a little bit wet, as you can tell, but yeah, there was, first off, let's start with the Spain incidents. Now, the incident between Ruthnik Bird and Captain Farah on lap 17 was taken to the stewards, but was later withdrawn/thrown out. So there could have been maybe a bit of action there, but decided not to carry on. The incident with Sato and Hyperdeuce, the blue flag on lap 23, a penalty point was given to Hyperdeuce for that blue flag infringement. Plus, there was also the incident with my teammates Sanguinius Prime and Roxman in the Mercedes. There was contact between those two. They swapped the position, so Prime actually finished in P10 and Roxman in P11. Now, the last lap incident between Ruthnik Bird and Lockie was being discussed quite a lot, but in the end, it was given a 5-second time penalty as we just run wide there, coming out of, I think that was turn 8. Even went the right way out. Anyway, so just getting out of everybody's way. But yeah, 5-second time penalty was given to Ruthnik Bird, which meant we got our podium back, which was an added bonus. Now, the Monaco incidents. Now, you may have already known, if you've seen the Monaco video, there was an incident the collision between myself and Roxman. It was deemed a lag incident, so no further action. I was considering taking it a little bit further, but I decided against it in the end. Now, the other big talking point was the incident under the safety car between Sato and Hyperdeuce. It was first off deemed a lag incident. As you can see there, Lockie actually retired from the session. There's his damaged car on board with Captain Farah. And it was deemed a lag incident and was given no further action, but the penalty is being appealed, so look out for that one, because I'll have more on that come Azerbaijan, in the Azerbaijan video. Hopefully we might have a different outcome come of that, but you can see here where it is a little bit wet around Canada. I was really confident going into the weekend with my setup for the Canadian Grand Prix. I mean, yes, I did have a lot of practice, but the wet weather, I'm not really a wet weather specialist. I mean, yes, you probably could have told from the race in Monaco, where it did start a little bit wet, intermediate conditions, and then got dry. So, yes, I may have been good at that, but yeah, qualifying, I don't know exactly what happened. It just didn't feel quite right. I'm not sure exactly what on earth it was, whether it was just braking too early in different spots, or whether I just didn't have the brake bias in the wrong spot. I don't really know, but I just tried everything I could to get up to the top. As you can see there, I think we're nearly the fastest out of Sector 1, but the next two sectors, we just go by Stinchy there. We weren't exactly too quick, so yeah, we were just continuing on, but I had to put a lot of fuel on board the car at the time. We do improve to go position 4 on that lap, and we just probably had enough time maybe to get back into the lane, to maybe put on one more set and go for one more flyer, considering there's about 2 minutes left. It was going to be a little bit of a dash, I realised that, but I just had to do what I could. There's my teammate just getting on provisional pole for the time being at a 22.7. I think it was a 22.7 anyway. My eyes might have deceived me, but really I wasn't really too far away, but I don't know exactly what it was. But anyway, we're back into the lane now. It was just pretty much a quick get in, change tyres and get out very quickly, considering there wasn't much time on the clock. But all we could do really was just you see there's all the timing screens. We were the fastest in the first sector, but just lacking the second and third sector. I'm not sure what it was, but that certainly wasn't ideal either when I was kicked out of the lobby. Well, not kicked out, I lost connection with the Xbox Live. But this happened during the end of qualifying. There's a bit of an incident with Fry, and I think that might be Legorob's car. That I think they were AR driven. They had finished the race, but maybe if I'd got back in qualifying, I might have done a little bit quicker. But in the end, we finished up P7, which is probably our worst qualifying for the season so far. But my teammate up there in position 2, he did a very good lap. But congratulations to SpagBol, first pole position in the Aussie Sim Racing Series. So yeah, he should be really proud of that. But as we get to the race, it was quite a turn of events, let's just say. It was completely fine. Not a drop of rain in sight. I was considering the tyre strategy. They had put me on a super soft and soft run, but I changed it up maybe a little bit and went the super soft to the ultra soft, considering I may be a little bit quicker at the end. I mean, some guys probably had different strategies up their sleeve. But this is going to be very interesting as we set off now on our formation lap. Not too much happened on my point of view, but I think for a few others, they weren't so lucky as just trying to see what we could do. But like I said earlier, the dry setup that I had on was probably, I felt pretty comfortable as we lose 1 straight away, as actually now up to 2, and probably we can add 3 to that. Yes, we can. So that's Flying Slimang, Stinchy, and Hyperdeuce back onto the grid. But this is a bit of a interesting reforming the grid as there's 2 cars. But that's my teammates, Equity's Prime and SpagBol. Now I can add Roxburgh into that mix. They're all ghosting into each other. It looked very odd, I must admit. That thankfully they managed to maintain their grid spots. And I felt this, like I said, the dry setup felt a lot better. I felt like I could be quick around here. Feel like a podium may be on. Maybe if we can get up further with possibly the win could be a possibility. But as you see there, Legorob is coming up to his grid slot now, and everybody's set. We're all good to go here, I think. So we're all good. The Canadian Grand Prix, it's vibrant lights. Let's do it around Canada, the Circuit Shield Villeneuve, and not really a bad start actually as we head now into turn 1. See there, I was very cautious there. Ikai was just going absolutely used every single bit of road there as my teammates actually got swamped there. We get up the inside of Frizy, so we gained a spot already. Heading now into turn 3. This is a pretty fast section now. And then up into turn number 5. No, this is turn 6. So Kaiwas has a look up the inside here. You see there now, all of a sudden he just, I don't know what happened there, must have desynced or something, but if we get up a little bit further now into turn 8, there's a big moment here. Unfortunately, our host of the lobby, Captain Farah, had lost connection, and look at Kaiwas slagging every single... As you can tell, I wasn't too happy with what happened there, but just look at all this lagging. This is just unbelievable. And we since found out after we did this lobby that because our Captain Farah had disconnected and he was the, let's just say, the head, he created the lobby, it was given down to Frizy. It was the next best with the lobby, and unfortunately his internet connection is not the best. But yeah, we've had to change up our strategy big time now, so we've come into the lane to have a change of front wing. We have to, considering half of it's missing, but we changed it up and we put the soft tyres on here. I'm not sure exactly, I don't know if you can hear in the background there, but there was something weird happened with the sound quality there. I don't know what happened there, but let's have a look on board with Sanguinius Prime, because he didn't have the greatest of starts, but yeah, not too bad of a start actually. Going up the inside now, but look at all this. It's a sandwich there by the Mercedes boys. And he's back down into P4, so that explains why it wasn't really a bad start, but yeah, just got pretty much sandwiched, like I said, from the Mercedes fellas with Roxman and Captain Farah. So that's probably not the ideal start he had in mind, but heading down into turn 6. Yes, that is turn 6. And he's actually got the run there. This is the moment where actually Captain Farah lost his connection. And you can probably tell from the graphic down below in a moment. So he gets position 3 back, and it says our migrating host. So he's got one of the positions back anyway. So and he's on board with Captain Farah, speaking of. So this is his POV. So let's have a look here how the Mercedes boys pretty much surrounded the Ferrari of my teammate. A little bit of contact there. Might have been a touch there between Prime and Captain Farah, but Roxman went right round the outside and managed to get position 2 off him. So, yeah, this is the back on board. That's exactly how he lost connection. So it was definitely not ideal. He's on board with Lockie. He's had to start from the back of the pack because of, that looked a bit awkward there between Flying Simang and Hyperdeuce. Hyperdeuce may have missed the start again, actually, but Flying Simang just absolutely rammed him up the back there. May have a bit of front wing damage, but now into turn 3. Pretty calm and collected. The Rhythmic Bird looks like he's gone a bit wide, and there's a little bit of touch there between Hyperdeuce and Lockie. And now we come on to lap 2, and we're currently in position 12. We've still got a long way to go. As you can probably tell, Rhythmic Bird was another one that had to make a comeback, but now cut back on board with my teammate. Starting to put Roxman under a little bit of pressure. Now, these two did come together in Spain, so I hope none of this is going to happen again. Up the inside he goes at turn 8 and gets the move done up at the P2. So he's on a different strategy as well on the super soft tyres, but just runs it a little bit wide then coming out of turn 1 on turn 2 I should say, on lap 3. There's a yellow flag down the front straight. I'm not sure exactly who that was for, but you're cutting back onto our point of view on lap 3. We weren't exactly going to be quick, but it was going to be a long race on these tyres. But now Prime's putting a lot more pressure on SpagBol for the lead of the race, coming around the wall of champions. Now down to the front straight. Can he make the move down, stick on turn 1? He sets the fastest lap of the race as well, but just don't think he quite has enough. On the curb a little bit, there, and still going this battle. So it's a great run actually coming out of 3 and 4. See if he can make this move up here into turn 6. I think this will be the next passing spot, but I'm not sure exactly what that green flag was there for. Now he's got a good run here coming out of turn 7. Didn't quite have enough, but now cutting back to me. I had a shocking run coming out of turn 12 and 13, and Rhythmic Bird and I were in the same party chat, so I decided to let him go considering he was on the ultra soft tyres. But there's a little bit of a moment coming up here, as you'll see here. Yep, there it is right there. It's a bit of a lag incident, and all of a sudden he's in the wall, and that was all very strange. I was so apologetic very quickly because I didn't know exactly what the hell had happened, but you're about to see in a moment in the graphic. Hopefully you'll see it down on the bottom of your screen. Unfortunately, he got disqualified for going the wrong way, so that's pretty much the exciting part of online leagues, isn't it? But he's on board with Rhythmic Bird, so he got a good run, as you can tell, my shocking run out of the chicane. But I made it very easy for him coming into turn 1. But let's have a look here at the turn 2. But there's a bit of a lag incident there, and that was all very weird, and he did get disqualified later on. But now Prime putting a lot of pressure on SpagBol for the lead of the race, coming at the hairpin at turn 10. Not actually trying to get the run here, coming on the back straight. Somehow this is the turn at turn 11. Now onto the back of the casino straight. Got DRS. That was the moment that Rhythmic Bird got disqualified, but just didn't quite have enough. But SpagBol has a shocking run out of the chicane, and Sanguinius Prime is the new race leader. What a move that was around the outside. I don't think you see much of that around in real life F1, but great move from a teammate. So he's now leading the race and should be able to pull a gap away from those guys. But now we cut back to our point of view on our lap 5. There's a bit of a yellow flag at turn 6 and 7. So someone's spun it around, but yeah, so the championship leader is not having a great day, let's put it that way. There's Captain Farah's well, I'm not sure exactly what the hell's going on with his car. I assume he's taking back control of it, but his car's still lagging everywhere. Yeah, but I did get told by my engineer that he did have significant front wing damage, so I think he came straight into the lane. So that was a bit of a weird moment coming out of the chicane and down the front straight, but he manages to come into the lane. We set our personal best with a 15.4. I don't think we're quite up there with the fastest lap of the race anyway, but he's on board with Lego Rob. He's chasing after Kai was there for position 4, and Kai was lagging everywhere. And there goes Lego Rob's half of his front wing. So his race is going absolutely gangbusters, but now cut back onto lap 6, about to start lap 7. There's Lego Rob into the lane. Go a little bit quicker on with our personal best as well, going into nearly the low 15s, but still got a long way to go. I mean, this is going to be a long stint on these tyres, but there's a weird yellow flag there, but this was an easy 2 spots for me. As you can see there, Flying Simang and Frizy having a shocking run. Really, they went wide at turn 8. That was an easy 2 spots there, so thank you, fellas, for that. Now we're up into P7, so this is a bit of an interesting moment between SpagBol, I think that's Psychiatrist, yes, and Roxman. So he's not really, all of a sudden lost his pace, and he's run wide out of turn 1, has had to shortcut it, and has actually copped a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. So in the end, he let Psychiatrist through, and I think he may have let Roxman through. Yes, he does. So Roxman runs a little bit wide, so it's definitely not ideal for SpagBol. The pole sitter's dropping back a little bit, but now cut back onto lap 10. Roxman's now in the lane, and we now set the fastest lap of the race, going first into the 14s, 14.7. So I was generally surprised, let me be honest with you, that for 14.7, I wasn't exactly expecting that on soft tyres, but now cut at the start of lap 11, we actually go a little bit quicker as well to 14.6. So yeah, pretty much flying at the moment. Coming into turn 2 now, we've got to chase after Hyperdeuce now, but it's a little bit of a moment here. Just glazed the wall there coming out of turn 4. I was just hoping I didn't bin it in the wall, trust me, this whole race, because there is a few spots where you can bin it as well, as we just come out of the hairpin there. That's probably one of the spots there, and where I grazed the wall there at turn 4, there's probably another spot you can graze. And coming out of turn 7 as well, but he's on board my POV. This is what I thank Ruthnik Bird for this footage, but this is how it looks on his screen, but looked completely different on my screen, I can tell you, as we absolutely nailed that chicane, completely nailed that chicane, but and now we're chasing out the Hyperdeuce, and now SpagBol is actually coming to the lane as well. Now he sets the fastest lap in the race, and he's coming as well, so coming into the hairpin. Might have been I don't know exactly what the hell happened there, but SpagBol's up the inside of both of us, and that's the easy 2 spots for him. Well, he's not quite done Hyperdeuce yet, but and we've got the DRS on both of these guys, but it nearly would have been 2 spots. It might now be the 2 spots now, because SpagBol's up the inside and gets position, or 3 I should say, as we nearly run up the rear end of Hyperdeuce. Managed to get away with that somehow. I don't know exactly how, but SpagBol's on a charge. Obviously, he's on a bit of a different strategy, but that's the moment that Hyperdeuce ran a little bit wide, and we now have position 4 in this race. So we're making good ground, let's be honest, but he's on board. This is what the outside footage looked like. Looked like there was a little bit of contact there between us two, but it looked completely, like I said, on the other footage that Ruthnik Birdo said apparently I rode Hyperdeuce's car, but you see that the tyre wear, it wasn't too bad. I mean, yes, the rears are probably a little bit more up than the fronts, but that's pretty much normal. But yeah, SpagBol all of a sudden was just starting to lose pace again. So and then we were starting to catch him, but as you can see there, catching up to Flying Simang, who's unfortunately, I think he disconnected as well. So his AI car's being driven. Now we should easily get this move done. Trying to get a good run here out of the chicane. SpagBol starting to feel the pressure here, as I think someone may have come into the lane. Yes, someone is coming out of the lane, actually. There was a bit of a lag moment there, as I cop a bit of a lag moment, actually, and run a little bit wide. So there goes all of my momentum that I had on chasing SpagBol, and now that's gone out the wall. So we have to catch back up again. It's on board with Lockie, and interesting to see this tyre wall on the left there of the Wall of Champions. I mean, yes, there might be the odd glitch around, but Legorob, look at Legorob here. He's just, look at all this. He's just going everywhere. So Roxman, I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but that's an easy spot there for Lockie. Legorob's just going everywhere. I don't know, must have a lag incident. There's that tyre wall again. That's having a lot of fun, I can guarantee you. But cut back to lap 20 with us, and we are starting to catch SpagBol a little bit. But the tyre wear is nearly 40% on the rear, so I knew I had to stretch it out a little bit longer just to get to the window for the ultra softs. And it's on board with Captain Farah, runs a little bit wide and nearly loses the rear end, gives the wall a bit of a touch. I don't think he got any front wing damage out of that, but again, we're right up close with SpagBol. Trying to get a great run coming out of here at turn 7. He's trying to break the slipstream for us, but we are. I was onto it and get a bit closer. We get a good run here out of turn 8. Well, I thought I did anyway, but it just wasn't quite enough. And let's go back now with Legorob. It's a bit of an interesting battle. It's Stinchy, and I think that might be Lockie in front as well. But we're down to the turn 3 and 4. I think you're about to see. I'm not sure. No, sorry, that's Stinchy. I do apologise. Had the wrong Force India car, but you're kidding me. That's the exact same lag incident as now. SpagBol comes into the lane. I missed the chicane big time, and just give the Wall of Champions a little rub. But you just see there that the rears were definitely getting up into nearly the mid 40s, but so you run a little bit wide there. I didn't quite have the right braking, what's the word I'm looking for? Didn't find the right braking marker for that corner, so you probably will see me run a little bit wide out of all those corners, but we're still in P3 at the moment. It's in lap 24. Probably going to get this, no we don't, but just absolutely on our own here, but now starting to catch up. But is that I was no, it's something. I think that's Flying Simang's AI-driven car. So I thought I was looking at the tyres at this point, and I was getting to the thinking, getting my thinking cap on and thinking. Oh, there you go. I've just had my thinking cap on and thinking. So, but it was getting very close to putting the ultra soft tyres on and getting to the end, and as we just go by Flying Simang, he might have actually reconnected there. I'm not too sure, but. Cut now onto the next lap, on lap 25. I feel like this is now the perfect time to come in, and now I signal to my engineer that it is the time to come in and put on the ultra soft tyres to get to the end of this race. I mean, yes, probably it would have been a long shot to get the soft tyres all the way to the end. It would have been a gamble, don't you worry about that. The tyre wear would have probably been up there, but I thought in the end we come onto the quicker tyre, and we should be very quick come the end of this race. But now we should come out behind Lockie. I think, yes, we are. So we should come out behind, just in front of Hyperdeuce as well. So we're pretty comfortable at the moment. So they're not too far behind Lockie. So just have to put the foot down a little bit as we lose our pole sitter. SpagBol is out of this race. Looks like he may have had a moment at either the chicane or the Wall of Champions around that area, but I'm not sure. Again, this exact same thing happened again with Lockie. I'm not sure. He's desyncing everywhere again. Look at that lag anyway, but got a bit of DRS now on him, so I was thinking about going for the look. Decided to roll out of the throttle and decided to get a good run coming out of the chicane, but Lockie's decided to avoid SpagBol, but that's an easy move up the inside. So I was actually thinking I must have to get this position back, but in the end, it didn't have to get the position back, so that was pretty lucky. But now cutting a bit more further on, starting to begin lap 30. I got to a point where I was just getting quicker as we do a 13.5 on that lap. We did a 13.6 on that last lap. But now lap 30, at the beginning lap 31. Like I said, we were starting to get a little bit more quicker. Now we're into the 13.3. I felt like maybe the 12s were in sight, but it is just going to be a continuation of all this final lap around, a few laps around the chicane. And again, we go a bit quicker. We actually go very quick. We set the fastest lap of the race. So like I said, we were getting very, very quicker, and we're now into the 12.75 as the fastest lap of the race. So we now catch up to Frizy, who's keeping well out of the way there. Well, I hope he is, unless it was he's disconnected or something. But it's a pretty easy move there. But now we're starting to chase after, I think, Kaiwas. There's Captain Farah at the hairpin down at turn 10. Not exactly sure what's happened there, but he's got on the power maybe a bit too early then, and he lost a bit of momentum. He's on board with Captain Farah. Just might explain what happened. So, oi, got the whack up the rear. Not sure exactly who that was. I don't think it was his teammate, but don't get me wrong, it would have been a bit awkward. As there's our laggy car going all over the shop there. And now Sanguinius Prime on the inside of Legorob. He's at the shortcut it. He put him off a little bit, I think. So I think he's got a handy gap anyway. But now cutting out to lap 34. We're actually starting to catch up on Kaiwas. And by this point, I was actually very, very nervous because you could see Kaiwas' car was just going every single which way. Not sure what it was doing, just desyncing. But just have a look at it. It was just all over the shop there. Oh, as someone was flying there. It looked like possibly Roxman on Legorob. I'm not too sure. It was one of the Mercedes cars. But I was just so nervous about going up the inside here of Kaiwas. I thought there was an option there, but have a little bit of contact. But this pretty much, I think that may have been, yeah, there was contact with Legorob, and that was pretty much my race done and dusted, I think. Had a bit of front wing damage. I couldn't do anything about it. Just turning into the corners was going to be a nightmare. Whereas I think we've got a big enough gap anyway on Hyperdeuce, so we should be safe. As you can see there, just no turn whatsoever. So in the end, we just had to settle for this for position 3. But he's on board with Sanguinius Prime. He's coming around the final chicane. He's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix. His first race win in Aussie Sim Racing. Congrats to him. I think that's Ferrari's first win as well in this series as well. So, massive boost up for our Constructors' Championship. Kaiwas will be coming home in second. But we kind of come around. They're going to finish at P3 to make it a 1 and a 3 for Ferrari. Not too bad. I would have liked the 1-2, but we're just going to have to put up with it. Or could have been. Or should have been, could have been. But yeah, there we are. There's the podium. Congrats again to Sanguinius Prime. So pretty much drove a dominant race. Once he got around SpagBol, he was pretty much nowhere to be seen. It's probably the first time that Ferrari has sprayed champagne together. So that's an added bonus. But there's the results on this screen. So Prime, Sanguinius Prime, Kaiwas, and myself are the top 3. You can see there all the, hopefully you'll see all the warnings there before the championship standings come up. There's plenty of warnings, don't you worry about that. Probably a couple from me, but here is the championship standings as we speak. So it's because Ruth Nick Bird and SpagBol got 0 points at the weekend. It boosted for my Sanguinius Prime and myself. We boosted our championship standings, but yeah, Red Bull's still leading constructors ahead of Renault and Toro Rosso. Ferrari and McLaren are starting to make moves as well. So we're up into P4, but yeah, it could have easily been 1-2, but it is what it is. We just got to move on and hopefully have a better run at Azerbaijan. But that's going to be it for this video for today, guys and girls. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. Comment down below if you want to have your say on that race. And If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to my channel for plenty more F1 2017 Aussie Sim Racing series. Plus, there is plenty more video gaming content on this channel as well. And if you want to, you can follow me on my social media channels. All the links are down in the description. But for the moment, guys and girls, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.